Not only can we look to Mary as the perfect example of what it means to be a woman, but also, of course, the perfect mother. Mary gave her life for Christ in more ways than one. Not only did she agree to carry him in her womb and raise him to adulthood, she also gave her fiat freely, knowing that one day her son would give his own life to save each one of us. To reflect on Mary's motherhood, we thought it would be fitting to have someone join us who is a mom herself. Mallory Carroll is the former Vice President of Communications at Susan B. Anthony Pro-Life America, and it's an honor to welcome her back to Pro-Life Weekly. Mallory, thanks for being here. Welcome back.
Thank you so much, Prudence, for having me. It's an honor to be here to talk about this topic especially.
Of course. Will you share with us what you've been up to since your time at SBA? I know you've been very busy.
Yes. So I have transitioned to be at home full-time. My husband and I are really blessed that this is a possibility for our family, and I'm home with my son, John Colby, who just turned a year old last month, and we're expecting our second child early in the new year, actually on the Feast of Mary, Our Lady, Help of Christians. So we're really excited about that. Mary has really had us under her mantle this whole year as we sort of watch the beauty and awe of the world through the eyes of a small child. And I've just learned so much in this last year, watching my son learn and explore this beautiful world that we're living in.
It's so wonderful, and we're so happy for you and your family. Mallory, talk to me more about your transition from working full-time in the pro-life movement to becoming a wife and mother. We know that before this phase of your life, many of our viewers know that you and I worked together at SBA, but what has this new phase has been like for you?
It has certainly been a huge change, going from the hustle and bustle of politics and advocacy and feeling, the mission of fighting and advocating for the unborn and for women,
right,
and in a big picture sense, and wanting to, taking the whole pro-life cause on our individual shoulders and, of course, as a group, and to really zoom in and focus on just one life. And what can I do to serve this individual right before me, this small child that needs to feel my love and who needs to be looked at with that look of love that we all crave, and to be Christ-like for my child and sacrificing. So it's definitely been a change. It's been a difficult change. I certainly miss the pro-life movement, and I certainly miss my friends and seeing them day to day. But I know that this is where God is calling me to be in at this moment, and that also gives me a strong sense of purpose and getting up each day to serve my husband and my son.
Yes, absolutely. Such an important part of our movement, perhaps the most important part. Mallory, talk to me about your relationship with Our Lady. I know you have a special devotion to Our Lady of Guadalupe, and our Mother Mary is the perfect example of being there for that one child who, makes so much of a difference.
She really is. Mary is just, gosh, I mean, of all the queen of all saints, right? To have Mary as my patron, and Our Lady of Guadalupe, she is the patroness of our country, of the Americas, of the pro-life movement, of the unborn. So there is, I had a huge devotion to her when I was working at SBA Pro-Life America, and then to relate to her in a different way as I contemplated on her as the Mary who we see appearing as pregnant, and her gentleness as a mother. When you read the story of the conversion of the people native to Mexico and the violence between the Spanish and the Aztecs at the time, and how they wouldn't have been moved by the bloody sacrifice of Christ. Their hearts needed something different. They needed a matriarch, a pregnant woman, and that she appeared to them, and then we saw this amazing mass conversion. And so I think about Mary and the power of that quietness, of that sort of meekness, Mary's meekness. I spend a lot of time reflecting on that, and how in her unique and special womanly way, her motherhood, that such great change came about. And so even though I'm at home and I'm just reacting and interacting with just one life, and whoever else happens to be there that day, we are so blessed to have great family and friends nearby, and our neighbors and the mailman, stopping by, that that this witness of my motherhood really can change the world.
Yes, and the way to Christ is through her mother, so
Yes.
for so many. Mallory, for new moms out there, or if there's anyone watching this who might be contemplating taking a step back from their career and considering motherhood the way that you did, what's a word of advice you might have for them?
It requires so much discernment. Talking to Mary and Jesus, talking to your guardian angel, what is right for your family. It is either way, it's a huge sacrifice, and just know that God is with you through it all, and that Mary wants to come alongside you, put her under her mantle of protection, and help you to make the best choice. And that, especially I think about the women who are contemplating abortion and who are unsure about being a mother, that Mary will give you the tools that you need, and Jesus will intercede for you if you ask, and that it is truly the greatest blessing.
Mallory, we have about a minute left, and just while we have you, I'm curious if you could kind of speak to where our movement is today and kind of what the next step you see being. We have an important election coming up in 2024. We still have a lot of work to do to continue to save lives even after the overturn of Roe. What's your take on the state of our movement?
Oh, gosh, that we have to redouble our efforts, especially with prayer. We had this incredible victory with the Dobbs decision and returning the voice to the people. But with that comes the opportunity for Satan to filter in the lies. And we've seen in these state battles, and especially in the places where there have been ballot initiatives, just the energy that Satan has to keep abortion on demand, the law of the land, and through whatever means possible. And so we have to stay dedicated in whatever way we can. My work in the pro-life movement looks a little bit different now, but that we have to stay engaged, whether it's state and local fights. We, of course, cannot take our eyes off what's happening at the federal level. There's still so much more to do, and to come back to Jesus and Mary for that strength, because we're going to need it in the future.
Yes, amen. Well said. Mallory, thank you for joining us, my friend. It's an honor to have you, as always.
Thank you.